So tonight's webinar is how to grow your business using Facebook and Instagram ads. It's brought to you through a joint collaboration between my company, Maximum Leverage Solutions, and Facebook for Business and Instagram for Business. Before we get started, a couple of rules so that we both can get the most out of this. I can give you as much information as possible, and you can get as much information to help grow your business as possible. So first and foremost, need your attention. Remove distractions, shut the door of your room or office, put your phone on mute, cut off any other TV or radio so you can kind of hone in for the next period of time. Turn off your cell phone. If you just put it on, and not just put it on vibrate, but just turn it off so you can dig right in. No social media scrolling. So if you got Instagram, open another browser, Facebook, Snapchat, your social media choice, shut that off in the next hour so that we can dial in. And then lastly, if you're serious about creating and growing business opportunities using the power of Facebook and Instagram, I firmly believe that this 60 to 90 minutes that we spend together will change your life. So here's my goal. My goal is to spend the next hour giving you a glimpse into some of the opportunities that you can take advantage of, whether you're growing a business, whether you have a business idea, whether you've been in business for a while, to leverage the power of Facebook and Instagram to start making immediate impact on your business. I'm going to share with you not only tips and tactics, but case studies from other people who have been in a similar situation as you, trying to grow their business, who have leveraged Facebook and Instagram and achieved success. So with that, there's a disclaimer, because I'm going to show you one case study where a business owner was able to generate $26,000 in sales in 2 weeks, even before he opened his door. So the disclaimer is that everyone who watches this will not make $26,000 in sales in 2 weeks. And quite honestly, the reason for that is because mostly people who watch free webinars don't take action. They hear great information, they get excited about it, and they don't change any of their tactics. But lastly, I will show you how my students, my clients, and I do it, but the results definitely vary based on effort. So with that, let's jump in. So if you stay into the end, there's a couple things that you're going to get. First, as I mentioned in my advertising, depending on what partner organization you found us through, that there is a drawing for a $200 Facebook ad coupon that will be given to one lucky winner who has joined this webinar tonight and stays to the end. That coupon will allow you to jump in and start running ads on Facebook with a $200 budget so that you can start to see the value and power that running Facebook ads will give you. The second thing you will get, and this is for everyone who's on this webinar tonight, is I will give you not one, but 2 free funnels that I've used with clients and with students that they've used to grow leads and sales in their business, to create opportunities for themselves. You can have them, change them, alter them however you want, but at least it gives you a guideline. So even if you don't have a website, even if you're just getting started, these funnels will allow you to jump right into action and start reaching out to potential clients. So at the end of this webinar, you'll get a link to not one, but 2 of those funnels that I've actually used with real clients and real campaigns that you can edit to your own business choosing. So what makes this different, right? There's a lot of, if you spend any time on Facebook or Instagram, you're constantly seeing promos for workshops, webinars, etc. So what makes this different? Well, first, a little bit about myself. So my name is Deval Wright. I've been involved in technology for about 25 years now. I was the Chief Technology Officer at fairly large companies like Black Entertainment Television, Radio and TV One. I've co-founded several startups. One startup, globalgrind.com, I started with Russell Simmons, and we actually raised money from the same guy who invested in Facebook 2 weeks before I met him. For the past 5 years, I've been the CEO of Maximum Leverage Solutions. We're a consulting firm, and we help businesses, small and medium businesses, brands, and celebrities leverage technology to grow their business. I've been featured on Black in America. I've been named to various lists on magazines. My current clients include certain celebrities such as Soledad O'Brien, Ayanna Van Zandt, Anthony Anderson, to name a few. So I've been doing this for a really long time. And I've helped almost everyone in the entertainment industry leverage and grow their business using the skills and tactics similar to the ones that I'm going to show you guys tonight. I even met the guy who invented the internet. As I mentioned, my company, Maximum Leverage Solutions, We have a host of celebrity and business clients. We've managed campaigns for movie premieres, for album releases. We've worked directly with companies like Google and Facebook, and we've helped hundreds of small and medium-sized businesses learn, scale, and leverage the skills that they need to grow and create viable businesses for themselves. So whereas a lot of people have just been started doing this, I've been doing this for over 20 years. So I'm bringing that knowledge to you tonight. I've worked with retail clients. I've worked with restaurants, chiropractors, bookkeepers, nonprofits, B2B companies. So no matter what your business is, these skills and tactics can help you grow and create new opportunities for yourself. So at the end of the day, it's different because I've done a lot of things right. But to be honest with you, the most important thing is that I've actually done a lot of things wrong. So if I've done those things wrong and I'm giving you tactics, it'll actually help you leapfrog those mistakes and get to a point where you're being successful. So I'm happy to share where I am now and the tactics I have now so that you don't have to go through those trial and error scenarios. And the reason I started this company and the reason why I've created these partnerships is because I've recognized a couple things. First and foremost, no one wants to be unsuccessful. It sounds common sense when you hear someone say it, but the reality is I don't think people recognize that when people are unsuccessful, they never started out by wanting to be there. And I think with business owners, the same thing. No one ever starts a business with the goal of being unsuccessful. But the challenge is every time I walk past an empty retail space or some business that has been closed down or shut down, I kind of think to myself, well, what could they have done differently? What knowledge did they not have to be able to move and adapt in this changing landscape to keep their business successful? So if we know that no one wants to be successful, we know that all we need to do is share information for us to all be successful in our businesses. The other thing you need to realize, and if you haven't realized this yet, hopefully you'll understand it tonight, is that we really are in a stage where you have to adapt or innovation is going to run us over, right? As much as I am a fan of technology, I recognize the challenges it creates for industries and businesses. If you look to the left, truck drivers, cab drivers, secretaries, assistants, retail, supermarket, UPS, USPS, and FedEx, these are all multi-million-dollar industries which equate to thousands of jobs. But if you look to the right, there's technologies that have come in that are disrupting those. And that's going to continue to happen. And the challenge is, and the frustration is that there's a lot of people on the left side who kind of saw the writing on the wall, but because they didn't try to figure out and adapt to change that, it's going to run them over. And we don't want that to happen to definitely the small businesses of this world. The other thing you should realize on a positive note, that at the same time while those things are creating challenges for existing industries, that there's actually more opportunity today than there ever has to start and grow a business. That most people are not aware that it's not as hard as you think to find and engage with customers for your business. And then lastly, most people don't take advantage of those opportunities. It's because they don't know about them. It's not that people don't want them, it's that no one's going to sat down and told them. So tonight we're going to give you that information so that you can start thinking differently and start taking advantage of these opportunities. So we all may realize this as well, but technology is everywhere, right? If you look at this chart and you think about Google starting in 1998 to Uber starting in 2009, each one of these companies has become a billion-dollar company, but more importantly, they've changed the way that people engage with each other, people get information. And as a small business, you have to understand this because you have to recognize that you have to change the way that you share your information. You have to change how you connect with customers. So the landscape has changed. But at the end of the day, as much as you see this as a landscape change, you should see this as an opportunity for new success in any business that you have. The other point is that these platforms literally have started out of nothing. We're in an age where you can create something and aggregate an audience and create value without having to do a lot of the things that business owners had to do in the past. You look at Instagram, it's the most valuable photo company, and it doesn't sell cameras. You look at Netflix, it's the largest growing television network. It's never laid any cable to deliver television content to us. Airbnb doesn't own any real estate, and Facebook is the most powerful media company, and we create all the content. But in all of these, the other thing you should see as a business owner is there's opportunities for financial and customer success leveraging some, if not all, of these platforms. So there's a new brave world for us to take advantage of. So at the end of the day, I recognize that this webinar is not going to be for everybody. So, a couple questions. So if you know how to reach the right potential customers for your business, if you're able to control how you increase leads and sales to your business, And if your business has too many customers to handle, then I don't want to waste your time. You know, there's probably a Christmas show on tonight. You don't have to waste your time here because this is not for you. But if not, I want you to imagine what your life would be like when you had all the clients you ever wanted for your business. You never had to worry about getting new clients in the future. And you could use that knowledge to create new opportunities for yourself and for others. And then lastly, that you could grow your new business or opportunity every year. You could guarantee that you could put yourself in a growth position every year. And how about every month? So the question I have is, would those things make a difference in your life, in your family, in your business? If they would, do me a favor and put a 1 in the chat room and let me know if those things would make a bit difference in your life, your business, or your family. Thanks. We got a bunch of 1s coming in, so definitely people see that this makes a difference. That's good. So we'll keep going. So tonight I'm going to share with you 3 secrets that will help you grow or create a business leveraging Facebook and Instagram. The first one I'm going to show you is how to target the perfect customer, not just to send out things to a random group of people who may not be interested in your product, but how you can go about the process of finding people who are not only interested in your product, but are already looking for products just like yours. Secret number 2, I'm going to show you how to target people who are on your page, people who have looked at your Instagram posts, people who have watched your Facebook videos, people who have commented, liked, shared, people who have been on your website. There's a way that you can actually target those people and take them by the hand and walk them through a process that they become customers of your business or service. And then lastly, I'm going to walk you through the process of creating a Facebook ad. 1 in the chat room, if you've ever created a Facebook ad, put a 1 in the chat room. If you've never done a Facebook ad, put a 2 in the chat room, just so I know who we're dealing with before we jump in. Okay, great. We got a couple people who've done it, a couple people who haven't. So let's jump into secret number 1. So how to target the perfect customer. So first, before you target the perfect customer, you have to understand a process which I call customer temperature. So customer temperature is broken into 3 areas. So first, it's your cold customers. And these people are people who don't know about your product, who haven't heard of your brand, right? And for a lot of us in small businesses, that's our biggest audience, right? We constantly figure out ways that how do we let people know that we're in this small shop, in this small town, in this area, delivering value, right? These are people who just don't know about you. The second one is your warm audience. And those people, they are aware of your product and service, but they just haven't bought from you yet. These are the people who walk into your store, look around for a few minutes, and then walk back out if you need a visual representation. They are aware of who you are, but they haven't either built enough comfort, haven't seen the value, or just haven't been given enough incentive to purchase from you. And then lastly, your hot customers. And these are people who have purchased your product, right? And the goal for that audience is, how do we get them to buy more regularly? How do we get them to buy more the next time they come in? And that's the constant process. So if you understand the customer temperature model, you recognize that really any successful business has systems in place to continually find new cold customers, continue to cultivate warm customers, and continue to make hot customers into repeat repeat buyers from you. So I'll ask you some questions. So what if you could find people who are interested in your products and services that you sell? What if you could find out what they like, you could find info about them and what they buy? And what if you could target those exact people with your products and services? Well, you can. You can do that with a free Facebook tool called Facebook Audience Insights. So what Facebook Audience Insights does is allows you to get background info about people who like your page. Get background info about all the people on Facebook. And get background info for people who like other pages, i.e. your competitors. So this is what the Audience Insights tool looks like. It basically asks you, what audience do you want to take a look at? Everyone on Facebook or people connected to your page. You know, if you've built a sizable audience of people who have liked your page, you can dig into that to figure out how to get more. But even more importantly, you can leverage the audience on Facebook and get more information. So, you know, that's a good visual, but let me show you in real time. Okay, can everybody, just to do a check here, can everybody see my browser window with the audience and with the Facebook ad window open? Just put a 1 in the chat room if you can see my screen still. Great. So first, you should see that there's a whole host of tools that Facebook has available to you that we'll talk about some more of those tonight. But really right now, we want to jump right into audience insights. So as I mentioned, it asks you for whether you want to look at everyone on Facebook, people connected to your page, or custom audiences. And we'll talk about custom audiences in a few minutes. But first, I'm going to jump in here and choose everyone on my page. So if you look to the left here, it lets me start narrowing down who I want to focus on. So right now it's the United States, but I could pick any state, city, or region. Right now it's 18 to any, but I can narrow that. I could say 24 to 50. Now the gender is all, but I can change that to men or change that to women. And then here's where it gets interesting. I can dig into interest. So let's say that I was going to open up a gym, or I had a local gym. So first I'd come in here and I want people who were interested in gyms. But then I'd want to get a little deeper, right? And I'd continue to go ahead, type gym again and see what else it gave me, right? So it gives me Gold's Gym, for example. Now I'm, personally, I'm a member of Lifetime Fitness. So I go in here and say, hey, is Lifetime Fitness in here? Yes, it is. So here's what happens, right? And down here, as you see, I can add in my page or say people not connected to my page. So what it does is it starts to give me demographic information from Facebook that shows me that that audience is made up of 60% women and 40% men. And then it shows me the percentages of people on Facebook that that's connected to. Then I can go through the different age ranges and see where the percentages are, where the opportunities are. So if you start to think about this, you're starting to literally break down who are your ideal customers for your business. Now, if I scroll down here, it shows me the lifestyles that they're connected to, right? Whether they're casual comfort, career builders, and it gives you definition of what those are. And again, it's just giving you more insight into people who are potential customers. Then it shows you your relationship status. So, it shows you people who are single, who are in a relationship, who are engaged, who are married. It shows your education level. Shows you their job titles. So literally, this is all information that you can use to start targeting your ideal customer. But it actually gets better. So if I go here to page likes, it will actually show me the categories of pages that the people in this audience like. And then it'll give me the top categories. Then I go down here and it shows me actual other businesses that these people follow. So literally, if I'm creating ads to target these people, I can target them. Now you would say, yes, I assume that they would follow Fabletics. I would assume that they follow Planet Fitness. But look at some of these other ones. Patron Tequila, right? 720,000 people that, based on other things they do, has a connection to fitness. Now I can guarantee you, your competitors are all maybe doing Fabletics, maybe doing Planet Fitness, but none of them are targeting Patron Tequila with an ad for their gym. But because you're looking at this data, you're able to go in and find customers in places that other people can't because you have the insights. Let's say you were debating on where to open your next physical location. You can go in here and see the top cities that people who have those interests are located in. You can look at the activities that they do on Facebook. Pages liked, comments, posts liked, posts shared, ads clicked, right? You look at all this and you're building that persona of your perfect customer. You can look at their household income, so you know who to target and who not to target for your different deals and offers. You can see if they're homeowners. You can see their home market value. You can see how they like to spend money. So if you know you're going to offer something based on the credit card, you know the percentage of people who are using that. You see that most of them primarily like cash. All this information is helpful, whether they're a renter, owner. You can start to even look at the different purchase behavior, right? They like subscription services. So if you're going to offer a monthly subscription, you see that 73% of this audience purchases subscription services. I need you to understand the value in this. I can tell you, I've been in media and entertainment for a long time. We used to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for this data so that we could come up with the right audience for a show that we were launching, etc. you have access to this for free just for having a Facebook account. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to, after this webinar tonight, get a piece of paper, get your notepad, and make a list. Make a list of the products and services that you're going to sell or that you currently sell. Then I want you to make a list of 5 competitors, right? Large or small, whether it's a super big brand to other competitors in your area or your city. Then I want you to go to Audience Insights. I want you to learn all the info about who the people who are connected to them are and what they do, and then figure out what pages you could target to get in front of them based on that information. And you will have right there the model for you to start finding that perfect customer, because you'll be able to find people who are interested in what you sell. You'll be able to find where they are and how they act on Facebook. You'll be able to find the other brands and sites that you can target to reach them in authentic and unique ways. And you can do that almost immediately. Put a 1 in the chat room if that's fantastic. That's just great. A lot of 1s. Good. I agree. I think it's a fantastic tool. So secret number 2, how to target people on your page to get leads and to convert them into customers. So I have a phrase. I have a lot of phrases, but one phrase I like to use is I tell people, don't use the internet, use the internet. And here's what I mean by that. When you understand that you're going to use the internet, the other thing you have to realize is that to create a successful business, it's all about the numbers, right? I'm not saying that you can't be passionate and emotional about what you do. It's a skill, it's a talent, and you want to share it to the world. But once you realize the key to making your business successful is making it about the numbers, your life will change. So I'm going to say that again. It's all about the numbers. So let me show you what I mean by that. So let's talk about what are big numbers, right? So I live in New Jersey. So in 2012, there were 8.8 million people in New Jersey. By now, it's probably over 9 million, right? So we would all agree that that's a pretty big number. There are 2 million people who live within a 30-mile radius of where I am. Now, no matter, you guys, most of you posted the types of businesses you had, whatever business you have, if you could even get a small percentage of those numbers, your business would have too many customers that they can handle, right? We all agree on that. So let's keep going. But let's all agree that those are pretty big numbers. So here's some bigger numbers. So Google gets 182 billion searches in a month. Not a year, not a decade, in a month. 182 billion searches. YouTube has 1 billion monthly users on YouTube. There's actually so much content that was uploaded today on YouTube, it would take you the rest of your life to watch it. 30 hours a minute of video content uploaded on YouTube every day. And then 300 million users on Twitter. So as you see, even though we see that there's big numbers locally, these are even bigger numbers. So let's keep going. So Facebook and Instagram in particular. So let's look at these updates. In May of this year, Facebook had 1.9 billion people on its site a month. That's not total, that's monthly. Instagram had 700 million people on it each month. WhatsApp, which is a mobile app they purchased that does texting and phone calls, had 1.2 billion, and Facebook Messenger had 1.2 billion on Messenger each month. Now let's fast forward, not years, but months to July, their next update. They now have 2 billion people on Facebook each month. They have 100 million people who are now using Facebook groups. 250 million people who are using Instagram stories. 2 billion people have sent messages between people and businesses. I will reiterate, and businesses each month on Facebook Messenger. And 250 million people use the status feature in WhatsApp every day. That's from May to July. And the reality is, and the beauty of this, and why you should be excited that you got on a webinar at 8 o'clock at night on a Thursday, is that you can reach all of them. Don't believe me? That's okay. I'm going to show you. So 96% of the US population has a mobile phone. 94% of smartphone users use those phones to look up info on local businesses. I didn't say Target. I didn't say Walmart. Local businesses. 70% of smartphone users contact those businesses as a result of mobile searches. And 50% of those smartphone users visit the stores as a result of mobile searches, and 52% call the business. You are in the biggest piece of opportunity because the tool you need to reach your perfect customer anyway in multiple ways is already in their pocket. You don't have to give it to them. You don't have to send them anywhere. It is already in their pocket. And they are already used to, accustomed to finding businesses. The only difference is, are you in a proper place and are you set up properly for them to find you? More people than you could handle on your best day. And the beauty of it, and the reason why it's a numbers game, is because your opportunity to get in front of them is easier than it's ever been. Look at this chart. Everything on the left is how businesses throughout the years have connected and grown their audience and customer base, right? Direct mail, in-person networking, TV, radio, newspaper. But we all know that everything on the left either has a cost barrier or an access barrier. Now look on the right. Remember I said innovation will run things over. There's a counterpart on the right that you all have access to right now. Direct mail is replaced by email, network is replaced by Facebook, TV is replaced by YouTube, radio, podcast, newspaper, blogs. So literally you have access to multiple means in which to communicate to your potential customer. Gone are these days. You know, the one on the left, I was coming off the highway and I almost got hit by an 18-wheeler as I stopped to take a picture. The one on the right, you see almost every weekend if a store is having a big blowout sale or they're going out of business. But the thing you don't realize is that each time you see this, these are businesses who are spending hundreds, if not thousands of dollars on advertising mediums that just don't work. When's the last time you've pulled over on the side of the road and took a picture of a sign you've seen on the side of the highway? And sometimes realize that you've seen 10, 20 of these. Those are real printing and physical costs that businesses are using because they're just not adapting to the new age. Remember, it's all about customer temperature. And there are examples all around you. Let me show you a couple. So these are two guys in California. They're actually two former gang members who one's got trained as a chef. And now what they do every day is they promote the meals that they're selling on Instagram, and they offer people the ability to order those meals. They call a phone number, they order them, they put the prices on Instagram, and then when they sell out, they post that they're sold out. Within a year's time, they've become one of the most popular mobile food services in South LA. They've been featured on ABC's The Chew as recently as last week. They've been hired by celebrities now to cater their events, all because they started cooking out of their own kitchen and used Instagram to promote to people who would want their food. Here's another example. So James was a client and student of mine who decided to open up a Hand and Stone franchise. And he was opening a new store in about a month when we connected. So he had to figure out a way to build awareness about his location and start to bring sales in. And as you know, franchises, for the most part, aren't that far away from each other. So he had to figure out a way to connect to his new neighborhood and start to bring people in to choose his Hand and Stone over others. So what James did is he ran a promotion for people to register for a chance to win a month's worth of free massages at his location. And he ran that on Facebook and Instagram. Now the beauty is, because he was able to target the area around him. He was able to find people who were interested in massage. He was able to find people who might want to have his services. So through that campaign, James spent about $189. He was able to amass 652 leads. He was able to turn 273 of those people into customers. That made his cost per lead around 69 cents. His average services were $45. Hold on, I see somebody raising their hand. Jacob, I see you raising your hand. Can you post in the chat room if you're having an issue, or if you have a question, put it in the Q&A and I'll answer it at the end. Their average service was $45. 45 times 273 was $12,000. He had so much success in that program, he decided to run it again for a total revenue of $26,000 before he opened his doors selling gift cards and advanced scheduled appointments. Now, the beauty in this is that now that he is opening his doors, he has a customer base that he can start to promote his products to. They can help him even spread word of mouth, all because he took the initiative to reach out to them with a couple pieces. And basically he did that by creating a no-brainer offer. He was able to send traffic to it in a targeted way. Once the user gives you their email, you can now put other offers in front of them and build that relationship in a way that you control. And then once you've honed that down, then you can automate it so that that process can be happening in an automated fashion on those platforms while you're focusing on other areas of your business. And it can alert you once you get a potential real lead, and you can react and turn that person to a customer. Here's how the process looks on Facebook. Basically, you have targeted Facebook users or people who just find your promotion or ad. You send them to some type of call of action, whether it's a guide, whether it's a webinar like this, a report, a coupon. Once they get on that thank you page, they're now subscribers. You set it up so they're actually removed from seeing that Facebook ad, and that's constantly running, presenting you to prospective new clients, prospective new customers on a regular basis. So let's use a non-technical example to illustrate the value in this for your business. So McDonald's. So McDonald's spends about $1.91 in ads per person. Their initial sale is a hamburger that's $2.09. So they only make 18 cents profit on that burger. But once you buy a fries and a Coke for $1.77, they make and keep $1.32. So they 8x the profit. So literally that simple model multiplied by the millions of people who go to McDonald's turns it into a multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar endeavor, simply because they understood the dollars they needed to spend to get people in. They understood how to increase the value to that person to a level where they made more profit and that person got more value. And then they put it out to a big enough audience to do it at scale. That's exactly what we're talking about tonight. And this is a concept which is called the value ladder, which I learned about some years ago. And basically what you're doing is you want to create a process in your business where you're bringing new people in and you're increasing them up the value ladder so that they get more value from you and you get more revenue from per customer from them. And then at the bottom, if you're really successful, you've created continuity revenue that happens to you on a regular basis. And if you can grow in those two directions, any business can be successful. But let me show you a real life example. So let's say you're a dentist, and let's say you're running ads to get people in to either do a free or very deep discounted teeth cleaning, right? And you're doing that to set yourself apart from any of the dentists in the given area. But once that person comes in for a teeth cleaning, you let them know that you have whitening services. You let them know that after an examination, they need a retainer, that you have cosmetic services. So it's more value to that customer that they may not have even realized. But you, for that initial effort of bringing them in, have taken them up the value ladder. And then because once they've built a relationship with you and you let them know the value of getting checkups on a regular basis, you can get that revenue every 6 months. But now you've created a relationship with them, you can have a reminder in your system to start pinging them a month before that 6 months to say, hey, let's schedule that appointment. And if they don't wait, they wait till last week, you send them another coupon saying, hey, I'm going to give you another 20% off to get you back in the door. It's all about the numbers. I call this transactional marketing. And the reason why I call it transactional marketing, because if you think about it, most people when they market their business, they're just spreading the message as wide as they can, and they're not thinking about the dollars it's costing to market to those people and the dollars they hope to achieve. So in transactional marketing, you work backwards from your desired goal, and you figure out how much you can spend and how much a customer is worth. And then you test out things amongst a larger audience to figure out how to get that model to work. And then once you get the model to work, you pour gasoline on it and you grow. So let me show you what that growth looks like. So let's say I had a $30 product, let's say a t-shirt. And let's say I wanted to make $5 grand a month selling those t-shirts. That's 60 grand a year. Basically what that means, if I work backwards, is that means I need to make $166 a day, which is 5.5 t-shirts at 30 bucks a day. But let's say I get more aggressive, right? I say I want to do better than that. And let's say I want to make 15 grand a month. That's 180 grand a year of revenue for my business. So to do that, I basically need to make $500 a day, which is 16.6 t-shirts at $30 a day. But let's say I'm going to go for the home run. I think I'm going to grow this business. I see the value of the audience, and I think bigger. And I want to make $83,334 a month, which is $1 million a year in revenue for my business. To do that, I basically need to make $2,777 a day, which is 92.59 t-shirts at $30 a day. So you are 92.59 t-shirts a day away from having $1 million business. Now, it seems straightforward when I put it in front of you. And the reason why most people never think of this, because most people, when they think about businesses, they only think about it in relative terms of the audience directly around them and how they can get people in the limited geographic space. But I'm here to show you that if you get 0.000000001% of any of the audiences I showed you tonight on Facebook, on Instagram, to engage with your product on a regular basis, those numbers are easily achievable because it's all about the numbers and the percentages. You can't grow your business to a certain level because the pool of potential customers is not big enough that you're going after. This good so far? Put a 1 in the chat room if this is good. I want to make sure I'm keeping you guys' attention in this evening hour before we jump into secret number 3. Great, couple 1s in the chat room. I appreciate that. Secret number 3, how do you create these Facebook ads? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you is what you shouldn't do. So remember, a bunch of you put in that you've run Facebook ads. Put a 1 in the chat room if by running Facebook ads you meant you've boosted posts. Don't be shy. No one else can see the chat but me. I'm not going to call you out by name. But if the only ads you've run are boosting posts, put a 1 in the chat room. There you go. I knew they were here. They're always here in every webinar. There's people who've run boosted posts. So here's why you should not boost posts. What boosting posts does is it puts your content in front of more people who have already liked your page. It increases what's called your reach. It does that because Facebook a while ago changed the algorithm, and they've done it on Instagram as well, so that you only see posts. Your posts are only seen by the most engaged third of your audience at any given time to throttle content. Because quite frankly, if they let everyone see every piece of content that anyone ever posted, we would lose our minds. So what boosting posts was created to do is to give you the ability to control and increase that. Now, boosting posts has continued to evolve to let you do some level of targeting. But the problem with that is that it doesn't let you choose the right objective for your business. And what I'm going to show you tonight is there's actually specific objectives you can choose to drive specific aspects of your business. And when you boost your post, you have no control over that. So if you're doing that and you haven't seen growth in revenue, you're essentially giving Facebook money. And look, they're going to take your money because they're a business, but I'd rather you leverage that money as a return on an investment. The end goal at the end of the day is if you can get to a point for every dollar you put in Facebook, you get $2 back. I don't think there's anybody on here who wouldn't take that and continue to put money there because it's a viable growth mechanism. All right, we're going to keep going. So why should I run ads? Again, like I mentioned, you should run ads because your organic posts are only reaching about a third of your audience. The second one is that organic growth takes a really long time. As those numbers continue to grow on those platforms, your ability to organically get in front of the people you need to reach, it takes longer. It's just a sheer numbers thing. So at the end of the day, I'm not saying organic growth is a bad thing, but if you created a business, your goal is to get that business to be successful as quickly as possible. And sometimes you don't have the time to wait for that organic growth. Again, you don't have the control over your outcome and your results. So you're basically using what I call the hope and pray method, right? You're creating great services, you're delivering value, and you're hoping and praying that it'll spread through word of mouth, or enough people will just hear about it and it'll just grow. There's no control there. And then the last and most important reason is because your competitors are. Your competitors are doing it. Now, they may not be the competitors that you know and that are in your local area that you're aware of, but your competitors, the people you're competing with for that audience, are running ads. So let me ask you some questions. So what if you could know who connected with you on Facebook and Instagram and you could advertise to them? What if you could target people based on their interests? You know, the ones you saw on Audience Insights? And what if you could reach almost 1,000 of those people while only spending $5 a day? Put a 1 in the chat room if that sounds viable for any of you in your business. Absolutely. I appreciate it. Yep. I agree. So the way you do that is, first, if you go to facebook.com/business, they give you detailed illustrations of the type of ads you can run. They show you success stories of businesses just like yours. They show you how you can market different types of ads, a lot of wealth of information. And if you've never created an ad, you just click on that create ad button and it'll take you to what's called an ad account. But if you've already boosted a post or ever run any of those paid promotions, you already have an ad account, you just don't know it. So here's the beauty. When you go into that ad account and you go into the Power Editor, you get what's called a marketing objective. So let's go through them so you see the value. So on the left side, you have an awareness, brand awareness. That ad lets you build brand awareness to a given audience about your brand. So let's say you've just opened in a new area, or let's say you're in an area and enough people say, I didn't know you were back here, or I didn't know that this business existed. You can run ads with the sole purpose to increase brand awareness of your brand within a given area so that people are more likely to know you're there and visit you. Reach is essentially boosted post on steroids. You can increase the reach of a specific piece of content, of a specific promotion, to make sure it reaches as many people as possible. The other reason you use reach is in a process called retargeting, where someone's seen an initial ad and done an action, and you want them to see the next ad based on that action. The example I give that to you is when you go to stores, you click on a product, and then that product follows you around the internet. That is retargeting. You can do that as well in your business. To the middle there, traffic. You can send people to your blog post. You can send people to your website. You can send people to your e-commerce site so that they're aware of it. Facebook will specifically find the people in any given audience who will do any of these actions. The next one is engagement. The big thing on Facebook is social proof, right? No one likes to click on an article that doesn't have likes, that doesn't have shares, that doesn't have comments. You can actually run campaigns to build engagement on a piece of content and then target those people later. But more importantly, do this test for yourself, right? Create one post that has no social activity and put it on your page. Then create another post using the engagement injectives and let it run for a couple of days and build up likes, shares, and comments. Even when you make that post public, people will engage on that post more because no one likes to be the first person to the party. The next one is app installs. If you have a mobile app, you can encourage people to download your app. So you're in total control over how many installs you get. Video views. You put a video up that does a walkthrough of your business, that does a how-to of how you're making something if you're a restaurateur, or if you're a clothier, or if you're, any of your processes, you can just take your phone out and shoot that video. Then you can increase the views. And the beauty is, you'll see in a few minutes, is that you can target people who watch that video and let them see more content. And then lead generation, because Facebook has all of your information, you can generate a lead ad, and all they do is click on one button and their information's already populated in the form without leaving Facebook, because they've given Facebook their information. They hit submit, and now you have a lead without them ever leaving Facebook. Conversions lets you basically target specific actions. Add to cart for an e-commerce site, purchase for an e-commerce site, leads for a webinar like this. There's multiple ones that you can use. And again, you're targeting people to do a specific action. Product catalog sales, again, if you've ever gone to a site and you've clicked on the page and now you see that product everywhere, that's done by uploading the product catalog from an e-commerce site directly into Facebook, and you can promote similar products without them even knowing why they're seeing those similar products. And then lastly, if you have a physical location, you can use Facebook to promote store visits. And then what you do is you upload the emails of the people who've had transactions at your store in a certain period of time, and Facebook will determine that their ads drove them to your store and find more people like that. So in a nutshell, you have total control over how to directionally control your business from a marketing standpoint using these objectives. So remember earlier I talked about custom audiences. So I'm going to show you one type of custom audiences, which are engagement. So basically, these are all based on things that are already on your social network. So video, I can create custom audiences based on people who spent time watching the videos I post on Facebook and Instagram. And this goes back 365 days. So even if you haven't been running ads and you've just been populating your Facebook and Instagram page, you can go back and target those audiences. But here's the beauty of it. You don't just target them, you can target them based on percentages. So you can have one audience of people who watch it for 10 seconds, one audience of people who watch 50% of it, another audience that watch 75, and then another audience that watch 90%. Now, why would you do that? Because if you have a 2 to 3 minute video about your business and someone watched 90%, there's an extreme high likelihood that that person has a significant interest in what you're doing. So you want to set that up so that if someone's watched 90%, you want to target them with, hey, here's a deal or offer for you to come buy something. Here's a coupon. You can go on our website and reserve our next treatment, because they've shown you their interest already just by watching that video. And the reason why you do the stages is you can have different incentives to move people along based on how much they watch that video. Really powerful stuff. Lead form, like we talked about, those lead ads. I can interact with people based on what they've done in the lead ad. If they looked at it but didn't fill it out and hit submit. If they hit submit. All of those are there, both Facebook and Instagram. Canvas ads are kind of fully immersive experiences on mobile, but you can interact with them as well. Your Facebook page. People who have come to your Facebook page, people who have clicked on a call to action, people who have engaged in an ad, people who have engaged with a post, like, shared, or comment. So you can run a test and say, hey, I'm thinking about launching this new product. You know what, comment in if you like this. And then you could target people who've commented on the post in the last 3 days and show them a promo for that product because they've shown you their interest. There's just really powerful ways to do it. Your Instagram profile. You can now connect to people who have engaged with your Instagram profile. The only thing you need to do is convert that into a business profile. If you go in your settings, it's a simple 2-step process. It connects to your Facebook page, and then you're running ads, and you're getting access to that data. But if you notice here, there's a lot of news, so these constantly change and update over time. And then the last one is events. You're having an event at your store, you're trying some classes, you're doing new ideas. You can run those events as ads and then interact with people based on how they respond to that event posting. Really powerful stuff. And this is just one slither of the things you can do with audiences. But this one shows you that you don't have, even if you don't have a website, you could engage with your customer base totally based on what they're doing on Facebook. And you can find customers in multiple ways. You can find them on Facebook, you can find them on Instagram, you can find them on Messenger, you can find them on the Audience Network. Now, what the Audience Network is that Facebook has thousands of sites that it's partnered with that it will run their ads on their sites. So literally someone could see your ad on Facebook, and then they could also go to one of their favorite content sites and see your ad again. So you as a small local business owner can have the same reach as major publishers, major brands across thousands of sites just by using the Audience Network. Again, it's customer temperature. But in this case, the cold audience are the people who are seeing your ad for the first time and learn about you. The warm audience are people who've seen your first ad, but you're making them more comfortable with buying from you. And then your hot audience is people who've purchased your product and are now seeing ads to incentivize to buy them more often. You are in total control of moving them through to grow your business. So let's show you a quick demo. Just double checking. If anybody cannot see the Facebook ad platform on your screen, just put a 1 in the chat room. If not, I'm going to keep going. Okay, so I'm going to go here. I'm going to create a new campaign. If I already knew and I've been doing this for a while, I could do it quickly over here, but I'm going to use the guided campaign that I showed you a minute ago. So first and foremost, the Facebook ad is broken into 3 levels. The campaign level is what your objective is. The ad set level is where you determine who you're going to target, how much you're going to spend, where it's going to be placed, and how long the ad is going to run. And then lastly, the ad is your actual creative, where it's going to link to, etc. Those are the 3 tiers of you running an ad on Facebook. But let's start off with a basic engagement ad. And the other thing you'll notice is as I click on different things here, these items over here change based on what I've picked. So there's different criteria. So we're going to go with a basic engagement ad. And it shows you that I can run one to engage in a post. I can run one to encourage people to like my page or event responses. But I'm just going to do a test based on the post engagement. So again, now I'm here at the ad set level. I can give this a name. I can either choose from audiences that I've already created, like those engagement audiences I've shown you, or I can create an audience here from scratch. So again, if it's all the United States, let's say I want to narrow it down because I'm in New Jersey. And if you notice over here, this number will constantly change based on what I pick. So now that I'm in New Jersey, I have a potential reach of 5.6 million people, but it shows me I'm going to reach between 740 and 3,000 people a day and between 60 to 370 post engagements. And that's not without changing anything. But then I can come down here and say, you know what? I only want English speaking to see my ad. But I can also set it up to target different ads based on different languages, etc. Whatever you want to do, you can still do that in the same demographic area. And see, this number continues to change. Now here's where it really gets powerful. So again, I can type demographics. So you know what? I'm going to say people who are interested in restaurants because I have a restaurant. That number is going to go down. Then I can see the suggestions and say I want people who are eating out. I also want people who are interested in dining out. Let's say I offer food and wine. Then I also see people who are wine lovers, people who are foodies. The list goes on. And you can target them all in one group, or you can always separate them out to see which one of these groups is going to give you the right audience. Because remember, at the end of the day, if anybody comes to you and says, hey, I know one way you can run an ad to be successful, they're lying to you. The way this works is that you pick audiences that could be potential for your customers. You test that ad, and when the ones that don't work, you turn them off, and the ones that work, you pour gasoline on them. That is the process. Now I have this here, and I have a pretty sizable audience, but then I can start to narrow it down, right? I can go back here and look at more suggestions, or I can do it here. I'll show you this. You can do it based on income. So let's say I have a pretty expensive restaurant. I can say, look, I only want to see people who make that income range, and then I can put more in, and I can continue to go higher. And that number may go down, but it's actually giving me the people who fit my target range, right? I could exclude people based on same criteria as well, or I can narrow it further. I could continue to drill down to my potential perfect customer. I could come down here and say, look, I want to see the people who fit this demographic who already like my Facebook page if I have a sizable audience. I can say the friends of people who like my page so that when they see the ad, they see that someone they know has already liked my page, so it's social proof. And I can exclude the people who like my page because let's say I'm offering a new customer offer that I only want to offer to people who haven't known my brand, that cold audience. I can exclude them as well. But the beauty I want you to see is that even for $5 a day, I have a potential reach of 260 to 1,100 people, and we'll get 24 to 150 engagements on this post that I can then retarget to get them one step closer to becoming a customer for $5 a day. I can either set it to run continuously, or I can set an end date. It's optimized for a specific thing. The other thing I'll show you is that you can edit the placements depending on where you want to show. Remember, Facebook, Instagram, Audience Network, or Messenger. There's certain rules. For example, on Instagram, as you may know, if you use Instagram, the videos can only be 60 seconds. So if you were running a video and it was over 60 seconds, you would remove Instagram. And that would just change those numbers. But you add Instagram back, you have total control. And it will tell you if you've ever put up something that won't work in a certain placement. So you can come in here and do mobile only. You could do desktop. You could brace it up by devices. You have total power. You could do it only connected to Wi-Fi because you're asking people to do some steps and you want them to be stationary, which means they're normally in a place on Wi-Fi. There's a lot of control you can have. So you have that there. And then lastly, you go to the ad. And you have two ways to create the ad. So first, I'll go to my business. You could select any existing post. So basically, and because I'm running it on Instagram, and it'll either say, if you don't have an Instagram account, it'll just run under your brand under Instagram, or you could connect your Instagram account. But I could say use an existing post. So I could just find a post that I've already posted and amplify that using ads. I can limit the only ads they show me to people who are on ones that can run on Instagram. I have total control, and it'll show you. It'll show you how they look, how the ad's going to look, everywhere it's going to show. So you have total control of what it's going to look, and it'll tell you when it can't show somewhere. Then I could also create an ad from scratch. They show me the format. I could upload a video, single image. I could create a slideshow. For video is the most powerful ad placement on Facebook right now. But let's say you don't like video. I could come in here and I could create a slideshow. And basically what I could do is upload some photos, and I have created some photos to show you this process. So you can upload a few photos and automatically create a slideshow in Facebook to run. I can set up the fade, I can set up the transition, depending on how I want it to look, based on my image. I could add music to it. But literally, I test it. I can create that slideshow, and now I'm running a polished ad just based on a bunch of images that promote my business that get attention. And I can test those formats out. I can run straight images, I can run videos, I can run slideshows, I can run carousels of multiple images. The list goes on. But as you see, it's literally not taking me that long to create an ad specific to a given audience. And there's that ad there. I can add a call to action button for them to learn more. I can add my text here, learn about our specials. Now that shows up there where I'm going to send them. Now there's that button. I hit review, and then I confirm, and this ad would be running to promote my business. And this works for no matter what business you have. Restaurant, retail store, service business, medical, online businesses, MLMs, whatever your business is, this works for you. So one in the chat room, whose mind is blown? Who's like, I gotta go start thinking about what ads I need to create, what customers I need to target. Just give me ones in the chat room if this has set your mind on fire, some of the stuff you learned tonight. Fantastic. Now my goal in life is to blow minds. So the past hour, a couple of questions. Would you agree that it's been time well spent so far? You also recognize I can't cover everything you need in an hour workshop, even if we had all day. But at least I've given you enough to kind of get you excited about what's possible for your business. A lot of times people are like, can we sit down for coffee and talk about this a little more detail? But I had to figure out my team how to deliver as much value to as many people as possible. We service people in a lot of ways. We run and execute their ads for small businesses. We train and enable people to do it themselves. But we had to figure out a way to try and reach as many people as possible to give them this information to grow their businesses. So we created something called Business in the Box. And if it's okay with you, I'm going to walk you through what that is. So basically what it is an over-the-shoulder training that educates you on what are the ads you can run, how to target your potential leads and current customers, how to create a system that gives you control over the growth of your business. Now, who does this work for? It's work for people who have never thought they wanted to even start a business. People who've had ideas but like, hey, you know what, creating my own business hasn't been for me. It's work for people who were launching a business but did not know how to maximize it. And it's also work for people who've had an existing business but were not seeing the growth and success that they wanted. So let me show you what you get in the Business in the Box program. So first you get an in-depth Facebook ads training. You get 6 modules and 6 hours of content. You get strategies like the $5 a day traffic plan, the retarget plan. You get sample funnels that you can use for your business. Example, you get 2 free tonight just for being here. But that's a $5,000 value. You spent months to kind of go through and craft everything you need to know what ads and how to run those ads to grow in your business. Has a total value of $5,497. But look, I get it. The biggest challenge in owning a small business and a growing business is that old habits die hard. Many of us, when we created those businesses, we did it based on success models that we saw. And the biggest challenge is adapting to new things and doing things differently. But I'm here to tell you that one of the biggest positive changes you can make for your business is taking advantage of how to get in front of new audiences, which these tactics and which these platforms allow you to do. So the next question I ask you is, what's your biggest hurdle? Put a 1 in the chat room if it's time, put a 2 in the chat room if it's money, and put a 3 in the chat room if it's time and money. So we got a couple 2s. We got a couple 1s, couple 3s. So we all have different challenges. So let's speak to those. So the first one, as it relates to time, the biggest challenge as it relates to time for a business owner is that most times we wear multiple hats. We're the head of finance, we're the head of sales, we're the head of stock, we're the head of inventory. And what these processes allow you to do is that once you get it to the point where you can set up the system to be somewhat automated, you know that you have a process in place that's going out and trying to find potential customers for your business while you focus on everything. Most businesses fail because they can't spend enough time to get new customers and leads while they run and grow their business. So this helps you on the time standpoint. On the money standpoint, I'll speak to that one visually. So almost everyone here goes and gets their mocha frap double chai latte with a double shot and espresso mix from Starbucks, right? Those average drinks, once you add in all those things, are $7 a day. So if you get one of those drinks a day, which some of the people on here I won't ask you if you do, get more than one. But if you get one of those drinks a day, that's $210. I just showed you how for $5 a day, you could be getting in front of 1,000 potential customers to build and start that process to make them into paying customers. So I think that's worth giving up Starbucks for a couple months to focus on that, right? But it just shows you that you have the dollars that you could reprioritize to grow your business. So you get a couple bonuses in my process. The first one you get is a private Facebook group, which is a value of $997. You can post questions. Someone on my team will answer it within 24 hours. You get to see other people who are in there who are building their businesses, ask similar questions. You glean from them. There's real value in the community aspect. The second bonus you get is another course we created called the 30-Minute Online Store. And that basically is broken up into 30-minute chunks that helps you launch an e-commerce store, helps you be able to sell on Facebook, helps you be able to sell via Facebook Messenger, helps you be able to sell products that you don't have to buy without any inventory. But it's a great addition to a small business owner because now you're not only selling locally, you're selling nationally. So that's part of a bonus that you receive for this course as well. So what do you get so far? You get the Business in the Box course. You get the bonus number 1, which is a private Facebook group, and bonus number 2, which is a 30-minute online store. And that accumulates a value of $7,491. Now you can see why that's a good deal at $7,491, because at the end of the day, if it's getting more customers in your business, it's a return on investment in yourself. But you know what? We would offer this to you for a price of $697. But the reality is that because of the relationship and partnership I have with Facebook, because you came on this webinar, we're going to give you additional bonus. So the bonus is I asked everyone who signed up for this webinar what business they were in, what their website is, and URL. So we have created and are almost done creating these roadmap guides that will show you what process you should put in place to get leads and customers based on if you're a retail business, if you're a service business, if you're a restaurant. And this is a $19.97 value, and this bonus is for today only for people who sign up. So lastly, what do you get? You get the business in the box. You get the bonus number 1, the Facebook group. You get bonus number 2, the 30-minute online store, and bonus number 3, the roadmap guide, for a total value of $9,400. And you get that today for just $297 if you go to maxlevsolutions/go. Now, the other thing I remind you is that everyone who actually signs up to the course, I'm able to give you one of those Facebook ad coupons. So in reality, your investment is only $97 because we're giving you the coupon to start running ads for your business. Because my goal at the end of the day, like I said, is to get as many business owners. The Facebook group that I'm working with and I have made a deal that we're trying to get 1,000 new business owners to be up and successful leveraging Facebook ads. So I partner with them and they're giving me access to things so that I can pass this on to you, and almost a no-brainer way for you to have an investment in your business and grow. And that's at maxlevsolutions/go. And there's another fast action bonus. If you purchase while we're on the webinar during the Q&A, you get access to a free group kickstart call, video call, which is a $397 value. That means that next week I'm going to schedule a video call and literally take you through what we did in the last kind of 10 minutes of this webinar. We do it for a whole hour. We can build ads. You can ask questions about your business. You can ask questions about what audiences you should go after, because my goal is to get you leveraging that ad coupon as fast as possible and starting to see the value of Facebook ads even before the end of the year. So you have 2 choices. The first option is you can do nothing and not take advantage of this leap of opportunity. I hope that I've at least given you enough information that you won't be able to say, let me not investigate and do this further, right? And that's definitely an option for you, and I hope that you've gotten the value to do that. The other option you can do is to pony up a small investment today, which is compared to all the value you're getting in return, and give it a shot. I tell people all the time, do a Google search on Facebook workshops and courses, and if you can find anybody who's done it for as long as I have, who's not trying to charge you $1,000, $2,000, then you should have at it. But I pretty much am pretty confident that the value versus the investment here is more worth it, because at the end of the day, my core goal in this business is to help you succeed as a small business owner. Now I'm gonna tell you the tale of 2 people. So I think there's 2 types of people in the world. There's people who accept things as they are. I use this analogy because my son and I went to a water park over the summer. As soon as we got there, the lines were wrapped around the water slides. It was an hour wait per slide. We waited in the hot sun on 2 slides, and then eventually, I looked around and they had this fast pass. Now I had already paid to get in, so it required an additional investment. But the beauty is that once I decided to make that investment, we were able to ride the slides multiple times. We were able to spend time with each other, laugh and joke. People were mad at us because they saw us riding slides 3-4 times. But it made me realize that at the end of the day, there's 2 types of people in this world. There's people who take things as they come to them. And they're like, look, you know what? I'm just going to deal with it, etc. But there's other people who say, you know what? I'm going to make an investment in myself because I value my time that much. And really, at the end of the day, what you have to decide as a business owner is to start making those investments in yourself, because you value the time it's going to take you to be successful, right? You did it for a reason. You're in the business that you're in for a reason, and finding ways to grow and accelerate that success is key. And just to remind you that there's people like you out there who are doing things like this. James was not a tech savvy guy. He wasn't anybody who did this before. He literally took his retirement savings and started this Hand and Stone franchise. But the beauty is now he has tools and methods that he can use to work and control the business. As you all know, as small business owners, it's not easy. But if you have tools that can help you direct and control creating opportunities for you, you put you in a better place than most other people. Here's a couple of other people who've been involved in some of my courses. Chantel, still working on setup, but starting to look good. Got my domain link, my blog link, my menus organized, added some pics, products, linked up with drop shipping. This is work. I'll post a link soon. She wanted to thank me for her class, for the class and the inspiration to get her pointed in the direction. She's been seeking for nearly a year on her own, unsuccessfully, of course, and she appreciates me. I appreciate her. Other ones, Carla, thank you so much for the insight and guidance today. I truly appreciate your time. I'm excited too. Thanks for the link. Deborah, yes, a great call indeed. I'm excited to move in on this biz journey. Group calls can enhance the process. Monique, great call, Navarro. Thank you. My brain has not stopped spinning, stopped clicking since our call. Big things to come. People just like you who are really trying to focus on making a step, proactive step to grow their business. So there's lastly, what do you get in this process? You get the Business in the Box course. You get the bonus number 1, the private Facebook group. You get bonus number 2, the 30-minute online store course. You get bonus number 3, the roadmap guides. You get the fast action bonus of the free group kickstart call. And then you get that Facebook ad coupon to let you start running ads immediately at a $200 value for a total value of $10,885. And you get that to get started for $297 today at maxlevsolutions.com/go. Now, I also understand that there's people who are in other stages of their business, so we've created versions for you. There's a Business in the Box Lite course, which is just a straight course without the bonuses for $197. But there's other people who are a little further along in their business who say, this is great, I want to learn it, that's fantastic. To be honest with you, I just really want you guys to help me and get my ads going now. So we've created an introductory level for you called the Business in the Box Done For You for $697. And what you get in addition to everything we talked about is a 30-minute one-on-one strategy call. And then we actually build and execute your first campaign with you using that $200 ad coupon. So literally with that, if you take away the value of that $200 ad coupon, your investment is $497 to get us to work with you directly and create your first campaign, leveraging dollars directly from Facebook to grow and exceed and to start running your campaigns to see the success of putting audience members there. So we've created options and tiers for no matter where people are to give you all an option for you to take advantage of. So before I jump into Q&A, I end every speech, workshop, talk I do with this photo. And this photo is the founder of WhatsApp, which is the mobile app that I showed you on the Facebook slide, signing the $15 billion deal for Facebook to acquire his company on the door of the welfare office where he collected food stamps. I show that because at the end of the day, no matter where you are in your business growth, there's people just like you who made the decision to block out the noise, to do things that aren't popular, and to really make an investment in growing what their business and ideal is. I also show it because at the end of the day, there's opportunities for success that are bigger than we could ever imagine if we just put our heads down and really focus on doing the things that we need to do to move through this business landscape. So it's inspirational for me, and I hope it's inspirational for you. And like I said, for staying to the end, you get those free funnels. So the 2 links are maxlevsolutions/freefunnel1 and maxlevsolutions/freefunnel2. And that'll get you the ability to download those free funnels. And you get a free trial to the software I use to run all my funnels, which is called ClickFunnels. But you could kick those in. You could alter the images, alter the text, and you could start putting those out on the potential customers fairly quickly. So you get those for free. I've used those with clients. My class members have used those as well to grow leads for their business. So with that said, I want to open it up for questions. I see there's already a couple questions in there. I'm going to set the timer and go right in. So the first question, read a case study on the Hand and Stone launch. You had mentioned it was geo-targeted. Can you share what parameters you use for distance, location to get the most effective response? Jacob, you want me to give you free consulting on the webinar. All right, so basically when you do geo-targeting, you basically have to run tests based on the areas, right? So you can do, when you do a geo-target, so if I put an address in, Facebook will ask me, do I want a 5-mile radius, 10-mile radius, 20-mile radius? Then it also lets me exclude areas. So let's say, I'm in Philadelphia, but I don't want Delaware. I can exclude Delaware. I'm in Philadelphia, but I do want Jersey. I can let it roll over to Jersey. So really, I can't share you his campaign, but what I can tell you is that those are the parameters you have to work with, and you can. The best way to do it, and the way we did it, was we tested different parameters. We said, okay, what if we do this? How far are people? The question you have to ask yourself is, how far are people willing to travel to get to your business or service? And if you don't know, you test. Everything's about testing. Oh, what happened? I don't know what happened. Did my internet drop? No. Are you guys still there? Put a 1 in the chat room if you guys are still there. All right, great. I just wanted to make sure I didn't lose you. So that's what my answer would be, is that you need to test various different ones. So basically what we did was we put the address of his location and we started testing parameters around different distance parameters around that as well. So let me know if that answered your question. Any other questions about the stuff we talked about tonight, about your business, about the course? I don't know why my thing dropped, but I'm going to kick it back on. I don't know why that happened. All right, it's bugging, so we'll leave it there. Any other questions? We'll put a 1 in the chat room. If oh, wait a minute, there's another question. Oh, thank you. No problem, Jacob. If you guys got value out of tonight, just let me know. Put a 1 in the chat room if this was a valuable use of your time, if you learned some new things tonight. Okay, great. A couple 1s. I appreciate that. I'm happy to stay on for a few minutes and ask questions, but I definitely don't want to keep you guys if you don't have any questions, so let me know. Kathy Gold raised your hand. Feel free to ask a question in the chat room or in So Kathy, feel free to post your question in the chat room. I'm happy to answer it if you don't see the Q&A box. Oh, trying to get your site to buy the package. Appreciate it. So it's maxlevsolutions.com/go. MAXLEV solutions.com/go. No problem. Any other questions? There we go. I sell insurance. How can I tailor the information from a tangible product to an intangible one? Absolutely. Insurance is not an intangible product, because at the end of the day, we all need it. And depending on what type of insurance, some of we have to have, like auto insurance. So with people who sell services, what I always say to them is the best thing you have is your information and knowledge about those services. So I would create content and some, like I said earlier, video is the most popular thing on Facebook. Facebook's making a big push for video. I've run campaigns using video that have gotten a penny a view and sometimes less than a penny a view. So what I would say is create content giving people some of that helpful information, tips, tidbits. Or if you don't like video content, create a guide. Create like the 5 things you need to know before you buy life insurance, the 5 things you need to know when you're looking for auto insurance. And then run ads to say, hey, download this free guide for 5 things you need to know about buying life insurance. And when I do that, you get my email address, and then you have email set up to go to give me more information to make me a customer. As you know, in the insurance industry, it's all built on relationships and sharing knowledge and trust. The beauty is you have the ability to share knowledge and trust at scale, leveraging Facebook, right? Because right now, somebody has to point you to a lead, or you have to go find that lead on your own. But you know that there are millions of people out here looking for insurance needs. And a lot of times, if you give them value, people will buy it over you because you've had a history of giving them value. I'm glad you brought this up, this important point. A lot of people don't understand in business, the way to set yourself apart is to deliver value. And what I mean by that is, you think about it, you guys are not only businesses trying to leverage Facebook and Instagram, but 9 times out of 10, you use Facebook and Instagram yourself. So think about what stops you and what gets you to engage. It's when people give you value, right? It's when people are willing to share information with you to deliver value, and in exchange for that, get your time and attention. And once you've built that rapport, then I kind of want to buy from you. I want you to give me something because you've given me so much value and information. And again, the people who don't get it from you, you didn't want them to be your customers anyway, because remember, we're working from such a large pool base. it becomes a numbers game. You don't get so infatuated with the one person you did 5 calls with who didn't buy from you, because you have a steady flow of people that you're getting information who you can imagine if you were able to get them to the point that they wanted to buy without them talking to you. Remember, imagine if that was the case. That's great, right? That's how you do it. Any other questions? I can go all night. Okay, great. Well, here we go. Let me see another one here. Let's see. Nope, no problem, David. Anytime, anytime. Definitely willing to answer any questions. Hopefully, I see some of you on the inside of the course. If you sign up for the course, you'll get the information, and the classes will start being presented to you on Monday, so you'll be good to go. The done for you as well. All kicks off on Monday with client calls. Seen a couple people sign up, so definitely appreciate it. But happy to answer any questions you have. I know we threw a lot at you, but as you see that there's a lot there. And now that we've had both of these sessions, I'll do the drawing for the free $200 one, and whoever wins will receive that information in the email by tomorrow. Any questions for the last few people who are still here? I'm happy to answer any questions. Free consulting right now. Okay, great. Saw a couple people sign up. Look forward to seeing you inside the course. Anytime, Jacob. I'm glad for you. Thanks for hanging out. I appreciate it. All right, guys, if you don't have any questions, I will let you go because I know it's a little late. Again, I appreciate you guys hanging out. Thanks, Kathy. I appreciate it. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And you guys will talk soon. We'll send you, I'll send you some information. Sign up to our Facebook group. You'll get information. We do other similar things like this. For the people who join the course, you'll get that information over the next day or so. Look forward to seeing you in the course and inside the group. All right, guys, take care and have a great night.